Scalogic is going to present today media optimized on-premise and remote workflows. Scalogic has been in the business of optimizing media-driven workflows for 30 years, and we have thousands of customers and installs across the world, across the globe, in multiple markets. At Scalogic headquarters, which is in Bloomington, Minnesota, just outside Minneapolis, we have our interoperability lab. In this lab, we have 2 petabytes of physical on-prem storage running. We are networked 1, 10, 25, 40, 50, 100 gig, 16 and 32 gig fiber. We can also provide this interop lab to you and your customers as a test bed. If you have a customer that says this is what their workflow looks like, we can replicate that workflow in our lab, and we can provide the test results of how Scalogic storage would work in that specific workflow. These are some of our industry partners, and as you can see, we have these NLEs and workflow tools actually running in our lab. We have done official qualification with all of these partners. We're also a beta test partner with Autodesk. I'm going to start with talking about shared storage solutions that are optimized for media workflows. So this is one of the solutions we're going to talk about today. Our NAS solutions are built on the ZFS file system. It's a rock-solid enterprise-class file system, best-of-breed data integrity features. So we focus a lot on performance, data integrity, and disaster recovery. Unlike most of our NAS competitors, we have the ability to create a single global namespace up to 2 petabytes. That is one single volume, up to 2 petabytes, scaled across up to 5 chassis. We can scale out our NX2 NAS up to 5 petabytes and our ZX NAS up to 9 petabytes. One of the best features that our NAS has is the ability to do unlimited snapshots. The snapshots can be done both on the admin level and on the user level. And you have the ability to set up snapshots. This snapshotted data is highly compressed up to 30% of the storage. The data on our NAS is encrypted at rest. If a drive gets misplaced, at least the data is not compromised because the data is encrypted. The file system supports flash, media, backup, and archive via 1 gig to 100 gig workflows. So we can have 1 gig on the client side, we can have 10 gig on the client side, we can have 25 gig on the client side, Ethernet connectivity, and we can, for very, very economical price, have 100 gig backbone at all times on the storage server. One of our 2 NAS solutions is the NX2. It's a very media-centric, enterprise-class, all-in-one appliance that we can scale up to 5 petabytes. We start at a 2U 12-bay chassis that goes up to 192 terabytes and can do up to 4,500 megabytes a second of aggregated throughput, all the way to a 36-bay with 576 terabytes in 136-bay 4U. That gives you about 8,000 megabytes per second of single chassis aggregate throughput. 100 gig backbone, we can do up to 25 gig or even 100 gig, but 25 gig to the client connectivity that can give you up to 2,100 megabytes a second single client connectivity speed. Even though it's a NAS, we are able to displace a lot of SAN environments by giving a single client connectivity throughput of up to 2,100 megabytes a second. The NX2 is a super economical chassis. It's fully functional to go in as primary shared storage, but it's also so economically priced that it can be used as a second-tier storage for applications like Isilon, Avid, and EditShare. And if you're in an Isilon environment or an Avid environment, you can just expand your storage footprint by adding an NX2. Every NX2 device comes in with a built-in replication software to replicate data from NAS 1 to NAS 2. The replication software is already built in. Our second NAS is the ZX. The ZX and the NX2 have the identical features, all the snapshots, the ability to do metro clustering, the ability to do 24/7, 365, the data encryption at rest. All of those features are exactly the same. The only difference between the NX2 and the ZX is that the ZX provides high availability or real-time mirroring with under 60-second node failover. The ZX nodes are real-time mirroring, and should one ZX fail, the second ZX node recovers within 60 seconds. Across our NAS solutions, both the NX2 and ZX, we mentioned the focus on data protection. You have the high availability production storage. You can do a backup server locally, or you can do a backup server at a remote location in a 50-kilometer radius via a dedicated 10 gig pipe, and we call that metro clustering. So if you look at the predominant data loss risks that we have, if somebody in the workflow clicks on a ransomware or a virus link, you can bring the whole workflow down. The countermeasure to that is snapshots. You just drag your file system snapshot 5 minutes out of the last snapshot, and you instantly recover from the virus attack. If you have data corruption, the ZFS file system is a self-healing file system. It avoids bad blocks and sectors of the disk platter and writes your data around the bad blocks, so you can avoid data corruption. We support RAID 6, so if one drive should go down, your system will work just like nothing's happened, and you replace the drive and it rebuilds. And should your storage go completely down and you have a mirrored local or remote location, your second RAID is protecting the data in real time, and you can instantly recover from that. Same thing with your system failure. This whole system goes down, your remote location or your mirrored backup server has your data up and running, and you instantly recover from that. If your data is fault tolerant, then your remote server in a 50-kilometer radius is going to protect your data, and your backup time in your remote location is a few hours, but your data is 100% protected. Should your storage be robbed, some drives go missing, you have no problem. Human errors, deleting or misplacing a file and folder, moving a file and folder, not knowing where it's gone, and spending hours trying to find it. With the help of snapshots, you can just recover that instantly. And there's really zero downtime. If you have a ZX high availability server with the remote or localized mirrored server running, you have no downtime. You're 100% uptime at all times because of ZX. So like we mentioned, we can do the high performance like we demonstrated, and we can also do data protection and disaster recovery. So this is all built in for no extra charge, these features. When we talk about support or bandwidth throughput for our storage chassis, we have physically tested this performance in our lab. We give you guaranteed throughput. We want our customers to know that we have actually tested this, and we stand by. We only put out what we have tested. We very recently introduced a high-performance all NVMe 2U NAS head. With a single 2U NAS head, we can get up to 12 gigabytes a second of sustained throughput. You can have 2 NAS heads running concurrently, giving you 24 gigabytes a second. Extremely high performance only out of 6 NVMe devices in a single 2U. Most raw uncompressed files we should be able to cover with our NAS solution. And just like we stream count tested our other NAS devices, we have stream count tested our all NVMe NAS device. On a single 2U 24-bay NVMe, we can get 12 gigabytes a second, and you can add up to 2 nodes in any given workflow, giving you 24 gigabytes a second of throughput. And we have tested 4K, 10K, 10-bit DPX, which is a single stream of 1050 megabytes a second. And on a single NVMe NAS head, you can get 9 concurrent streams. We have this very powerful media browsing tool. This is an all-in-one media management application. It's got powerful conversion, transcoding, and rewrapping engine. It supports just about all broadcast and consumer video file formats. We are offering media browser for no charge included with every storage device that we sell. This is a new solution. It's called RAP. When the pandemic hit, ScaleLogic waited to see what people are doing for remote editing capabilities. We looked at what the market needs. By June, we were ready with Remote Access Portal. Remote Access Portal is our solution for remote editing. So what is the Remote Access Portal? It is a 1U Linux appliance, which is storage and MAM agnostic. You can use this appliance with any storage and any MAM that you already have. It provides the remote edit clients access to the on-premise storage, but this is done securely via HTTPS. Only the modified content that the remote edit client does syncs back to the on-prem storage. And this is a really economical and flexible solution that supports all formats. Using the remote client's local hard drive as a LAN cache, the sync process happens completely in the background without the editor doing anything. Only the edited or the changed content is syncing back to the on-prem storage via the RAP. RAP allows remote collaborative workflows. The RAP supports all major operating systems, Windows, Mac, and Linux, NAS or SAN applications, doesn't matter who the manufacturer is. We support Active Directory and LDAP integration, and it's a totally secure process. You have the HTTPS port security and you have the SSL encryption security. We sincerely appreciate everybody in attendance. We genuinely appreciate your partnership. Thank you very much.